Rush Limbaugh has passed from this mortal coil. He was 70. Among his great friends was Vince Flynn. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vince Flynn, the greatest name dropper in the history of the world, because he could drop a name without making it sound grandiose. And in fact, I was with Rush at a commemorative event for Vince Flynn at St. Thomas Academy a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I got to meet Rush on a number of occasions, but I'll tell you one story. And because he was on KSTP, probably that was among the first stations in the country that he signed on with as he began the syndicated giant that he became. And so he was on KSTP. Oh, man. He used to do, what were they 80s. Called? Right. And I know the words. Yeah, I know the year. It was 88. But he used to do these tours. What were they called? Something where he'd fill an auditorium and talk.
Yeah.
And like one kid I used to have went to them. And so on one of those events, he was in town, obviously, to conduct this Rush. Is it Rush to Excellence tour? Was that what it was?
Yes, thank you.
Rush to Excellence tour.
And the story, if you're telling the story about when you guys were in the station, I was on the board that day.
You were?
Yeah. I was.
It was
there.
a Saturday sports talk,
Yeah.
and KSTP superior said, Rush Limbaugh, our new acquisition, is in town, and in order to continue to promote him, we'd love to have you guys have him on. Well, we knew who he was, of course, because we had been listening to him as a new member of the station, and he comes out to Maplewood for Saturday morning sports talk, and he no sooner sits down in the studio and Patrick says to him, "Hey, Rush, that's a hell of a bit you got going here." And Rush said, "That is not a bit. It's not a bit. I mean every bit of it." And Royce is going, "Yeah, sure, Rush, come on. You can tell us. You can tell us. You can tell us." And Rush said, "No, man, that's not a bit. That's the real deal." And we all know what has happened. He obviously revolutionized talk radio, for God's sakes. I don't think anybody equaled the success he had on radio. Really revolutionized it.
So he was
probably.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask. So he was doing a Saturday show? This wasn't the weekday?
No. We were doing Saturday sports talk. Why don't you give yourself some coins in a scan bucket for not listening?
I was listening. That's why I was.
He was in town for one of his tour appearances on a Saturday night at Kaufman or wherever. And because he was in town, the station thought it would be good for Pat and I to have him on Saturday morning sports talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To continue to promote his availability every weekday on KSTP. And that's when Patrick told him, "You got a hell of a bit going here, Rush."
Okay.
And of course, Rush was offended because he didn't think it was a bit at all. And you know what? It proved not to be.
Well, because he would do his show from the KSTP studios on occasion, would he not?
Those were weekday shows.
Yeah.
And that was another time he was in town. And we surrendered the studio to Rush, and he did a show from the Garage Logic studio.
One time I remember them, Joe, and it was right after they passed the no smoking in the building rule, and of course I was the only one violating that. But Rush came in there and had one of those big old $100 stogies, and he lit that baby up right on the air and smoked her down, and nobody in management said anything.
No. He was always kind of the elephant in the room.
But he was a big guy. We were making coin on that show. We were making Skrilla. So.
Oh man, yeah.
But what's displaying? We were talking about this before the show. The vitriol on social media it's embarrassing. Whether or not you like or dislike the guy. For crying out loud, show some decency and humanity.
That's why I don't participate in social media. It's just ridiculous. Let the guy rest in peace.
How you can celebrate somebody's death with such vile things?
Because Mysterians are mean people. They don't like people.
There was something I forget who tweeted this, but we were talking about the hashtag that I won't mention that's trending because of that. But basically said there are some people that are only okay with having hatred as their only emotion. And I thought, God, that is so brilliantly stated because it's so on point.
Well, fortunately, I must not follow as many people as you do, because I have not run into any of these denigrating comments about Rush, and I'm grateful. I'm not going to go look. I don't even want to go look for them. Let him rest in peace. He revolutionized an industry that it probably gave us, a lot of us, one hell of a shot to try to make it too. Because if he was on your station, your ratings instantly got elevated, and those stations could take chances on developing other shows while riding on the influence of his ratings. And I think that might have been the case with me. I didn't start Garage Logic until after Rush was already doing his daily show on KSTP. Because he was on at least by 1988, and Garage Logic didn't start until 1993.
And Kenny, you and Bob were doing mornings at that time?
Oh God.
That's
what I think we had been fired. I think by the time Joe started GL, Joe was still doing fill-in work when we got gas piped.
Okay,
if I remember right. But yeah, like Joe said, memory a little sketchy.